Hello there, I'm Dale Beaumont, founder and CEO of Business Blueprint, and I want to say congratulations for clicking through to watch this video. We've got something very exciting to share with you. Anyone that knows me would know that I love technology, especially technology that helps you in order to grow your business. So if you're watching this, I'm guessing you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, and you're looking to either save money or make more money, or definitely save time as well, because we know time is money. So that's exactly what we are going to be talking about: how we can save you money, how we can save you time, and how we can help you to grow your business faster. So if you're up for that, then stay tuned. You're going to love what we're going to share in this video. So the product that we're going to be talking about today is called Airwallex, and Airwallex does a whole bunch of amazing things, and I'm actually going to talk about them right now, and then we're actually going to be meeting someone from the company who's going to give you a live demo and show you what Airwallex actually does and how specifically it works. So if you want to see this for yourself, you can follow this link right now. It is bburl.co/Airwallex. So go ahead, type in that exact URL. We're going to tell you why you want to use that shortly, because there's actually a special bonus for you. But go ahead right now and type in that link, bburl.co/Airwallex. Now, this tool does three main things. So I'm going to quickly summarize what they are from my perspective. The first one it does is sending money overseas. So for a lot of us now, we have staff or we have contractors in other locations outside of Australia or New Zealand or the US. You might have a team that's based in the Philippines, or you might have a team or a staff member that's based in India, or maybe in South America, for example, that might be working on your graphic design or helping you with social media, or maybe it's helping you with copywriting, etc. So what you can now do is you can send money from your Airwallex account directly into bank accounts in a whole bunch of different countries. I think there's like 30 or 40 different countries that you can send money directly to. And what's exciting about that is the fees are very, very low. For some of their main currencies, the fees are just 0.3%. And for some of the other currencies out there, it's still only 0.6%. So less than half of 1% there, or around 0.6%. That's absolutely amazing. If you compare that to other ways of transferring money, let's just imagine that you had a staff member in the Philippines that would cost you around $10,000 per year, $1,000 a month for that particular employee. If you were transferring that via the major banks, you'd be losing nearly 5% of that in just currency conversion fees and transfer costs that you would have. Whereas with Airwallex, rather than paying $500 in fees, you'd be paying around $30 in fees, which is absolutely incredible. In fact, if for the Philippines specifically, it would probably be about $60 actually, because it's 0.06, whereas if they're in America, for example, or in one of the other major currencies, it would be just 0.03. So first of all, you're going to save money. So what you do is you put money into your Airwallex account, and then you can transfer it directly into any major global bank account. And there's a list on the website of all the different countries that you can transfer money to. So, and they can do so at a very, very low rate. So that's number one. So if you want to save money, then Airwallex will help you to do that. Second thing is receiving international funds. So many of us now are enjoying the fact that we have customers that are now starting to work with us from all over the world. And so you might have a customer, for example, in New Zealand, or if you're New Zealand in Australia, or you might have someone in America or Singapore or the UK that wants to do business with you. You want to make it as easy for them as possible to pay you. So what you can do is you can actually set up bank accounts, local bank accounts in different countries that you want to do business in. So say, for example, that you wanted to have customers that are in America pay you. what you can do is set up a bank account in America, and you can do it in a matter of seconds, not days or weeks that it normally would take. And then you have full banking details for someone in America to pay you in US dollars. And what you can do is, rather than having it being transferred into your Australian bank account, it can actually stay as US dollars in your Airwallex account. And we'll tell you why you want to do that in a few moments' time. So what you can do is you can receive basically money in different currencies, make it easy for people to pay you, so reducing friction. But then what you can do is either hold that money in that particular currency, so you can pay expenses later on if you wish, or you can transfer it back into your local currency. Okay, you have that choice, and we'll show you how that works in just a few moments. Okay, so basically this is all about removing friction and making it easy for people to pay you, and then being able to hold that foreign currency for other purposes later. And then number 3 is to pay international expenses. So once you then have, for example, US dollars, and you can either receive that, have those US dollars by transferring money yourself from Australian dollars into US dollars and holding it in your Airwallex account, or you can have those funds because you're receiving US dollars, you can hold it there. And then what you can do is pay expenses that you have maybe attached with that particular country. For example, there are a lot of people that would use a CRM system like MailChimp or Ontraport, or you might be using something like Pipedrive. A lot of those companies, they're all US-based companies, and they would be charging in US dollars. And right now you're paying those in maybe your Australian dollars you're paying, and you have to lose money every time you pay one of these subscriptions. But what you can actually do is you can set up a card which is attached to your Airwallex account in that particular currency, the currency that you choose. And so what it will do is it will then pay those expenses in that particular currency, which will actually save you a lot of money on fees. And you'll hear about that shortly. Okay. So what you can do is you can receive money in foreign currency, and then you can pay expenses from it as well. So we'll talk later on about the cards and what the cards actually do and how you could use them to lower your costs. So bottom line, this is all about saving you time and money. If you're a small business and you have just 1 or 2 staff that are based in another country, you might save $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 a year. However, if you're a major business and you're maybe importing and exporting, or you've got customers that are overseas, you might be able to save $10,000, $20,000, even $30,000 a year in currency conversion fees. So there's a massive saving that you can enjoy. So there's lots of different graphs and charts that you can see on their website, lots of testimonials as well. This is a small business here, and they're now saving $12,000 a year by moving over to Airwallex. And you can see lots of examples there. And just launched, this is really exciting, Airwallex has launched a new part to their product, which actually acts like an international payment gateway. So if you have customers that are maybe based in, say, the US, and you want to debit their cards in US dollars, you can do that currently with a service like Stripe. But one of the things that Stripe does is it forces you after 7 days to then basically transfer that directly into your local bank account, which then converts it into, let's just say, Australian dollars or New Zealand dollars. And then when you want to pay expenses, you have to convert it back to US dollars. So with Stripe, you can't hold that those US dollars or any foreign currency. It has to be converted, and then you have to convert it back. And so this is actually now a much better way of being able to receive funds via credit cards, via a subscription-based service, or if you have an e-commerce store, you can have people charged in US dollars and hold those US dollars as well. Because if you're buying products, for example, from China, they're probably using US dollars anyway. So then that way you can pay expenses out of your US dollars that you have stored. So it's really cool. We've just started using it ourselves in our business, and I've started to share it with some of my clients, and they're absolutely loving it. Some of them are already saving thousands of dollars, some of them tens of thousands of dollars in their businesses. So I wanted to tell you about it as well, so you could, basically start saving money too. So if you haven't already, go to the link because you're actually going to be getting your first $20,000 worth of foreign exchange fee-free. So that's a huge reason why you'd want to use this link. This is a special link that we have created, which other people don't normally get access to. So make sure that you use this link so you can get $20,000 worth of foreign exchange fee-free. All right, we are now going to hear from someone from Airwallex. He's the Director of Partnerships. His name is Philip, and he is going to kind of guide you through the actual tool and give you a live demo of these features so you can see them in action. And then after, we're going to do a little Q&A. So Philip, over to you for the live demo.
Thanks, Dale, and welcome to the Airwallex homepage, the dashboard. This page is the first page you'll land in once you've set up your Airwallex account. This is a demo account, so you can see I have money in there already, about 565,000 Aussie dollars, but it's made up of a range of different currencies. So you can see here are some of the major ones. Here's my AUD balance, here's my Euro balance, my GBP balance, etc. There are a lot more currencies that you can also hold within your Airwallex account. So if you click over to the wallet section over here, you can see this is a lot of different currencies that you can hold within Airwallex. So all the major ones: AUD, Euro, GBP, Hong Kong dollar. I know that a lot of your customers use New Zealand dollar and Filipino pesos. So all the major currencies are within our wallet, and you can hold those currencies within your Airwallex account. That's the main thing to take out of this screen. Where it gets really exciting is our global accounts product and this feature of the platform. This actually allows you to open up accounts all around the world and to be able to trade like a local. So for example, here are some accounts that I've already set up. I have a US account. You can see it's filled with a bank account number, a routing number, all the local details that you need for someone in the US to send you to money to a local account in the US. They won't have to, if you've got US, they won't have to send that money from the US to Australia or to wherever you're located. They can send that to a US account. Now, in my previous role at a different company, I opened our US office, and I spent over 2 weeks in a bank trying to set up bank accounts in the US, a Chase branch in New York. It was a real pain. Look, let me show you how quickly and easy it is to open up a US bank account. I can literally do it with 3 clicks of a button. So I select US and USD. I make add a nickname. I'll call it the USD account. I'll create the global account. And you can see within a matter of seconds, I have a bank account number, a routing number, and again, all the information that you need to have a local US account. Not only can you do that in the US, but you can do that in all these different markets. So obviously in Australia, Europe, the UK, Japan, and then via Hong Kong, you can do all these different currencies. So New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen, and a range of other currencies. We're constantly adding to the capabilities and the different types of accounts that you can create. So I've now got my US or my global account set up in any of the various markets. I can receive money like a local and tell my customers and clients to pay into those accounts. What we're also really well known for is our conversions and our market leading FX. So let's say I've received, let's make this $10,000 US from a customer in the US. I want to convert this back to Australian dollars. You can see here are the rates that we're charging. We're always completely transparent with the rates that we charge. So you'll see for all major currencies, there's a 0.3% markup on the interbank rate. So that means that the fee that Airwallex takes for the transaction is 0.3% of the transaction. If I were to switch this over to something like, let's call it so sorry, so let's hold there for now. I'll show you how to transfer in some other currencies in a second. But so there you go. Market leading FX rates. If you compare that to using some of the big four banks, you may be saving up to 5 or 6% on your transfers. So if you're buying stock, let's say in China, and you may be buying $100,000 worth of stock, in that scenario, you may be saving yourself up to 5 or 6 grand per transaction. So every time you buy stock, you're going to make that saving. Cool. So let me get out of here and show you how to then transfer and actually pay suppliers or staff using our platform, and again using our market leading FX rates. So here you can see I have a lot of contacts already set up. These are all different contacts that I want to pay in different markets, and just like how you would pay BSB transfer in Australia like a local, you can now pay these suppliers out of this platform. So why don't I use this PH supplier, so Filipino supplier, and pay them in pesos. So what you'll be able to see here is that I've already set up this account. I can transfer into the Philippines like a local. What that means is there's no transfer fee, meaning that there's no SWIFT fees, and that the money should arrive within 0 to 1 days. There's no transfer limit on the amount of money that I can transfer into the Philippines. So I'd simply go through and send money to this supplier. So let's say I'm paying staff in the Philippines, or I might be buying stock in the Philippines, and I want to send 50,000 Aussie dollars for my staff over the course of the quarter or a month. The recipient will receive this amount in pesos, and again, all of these same conditions that we just spoke of apply. So again, that's to the Philippines. We can transfer in all these different currencies. So there's dozens and dozens of currencies, and all the major currencies that Australian businesses are typically trading in is included as part of this transfer process. Again, each time you make that transfer, the only fee that you'll pay is either 0.3 or 0.6%, depending on the location that you're sending to. Depending on the location, there may be a SWIFT fee, but you'll always be notified of that, and the money will arrive typically much quicker than it would with the big four banks.
And just to quickly jump in here, we used to pay some of our staff in the Philippines via PayPal, which is a very kind of like common method. The challenge with PayPal is that it can oftentimes charge up to 3% of the fee that you are losing in PayPal fees. And then they receive that money not into their bank account, but into their PayPal account. And they normally have to wait another 2 or 3 days to then transfer it from PayPal into their bank account. Which is also a time delay as well. So this solves 2 problems. The first one is that the money goes directly to their account, the account that they use. So they get the money almost instantly, either 0 to 1 days. And the second benefit is the fees. As opposed to 3% for Philippines, it would be 0.6%. And if they're, say, based in the US, then it would just be 0.03%. So a massive saving there for paying your staff. So you set them up as a supplier, and then once you've done it, it literally takes 30 seconds to pay someone. So super simple, and you're going to save money. And now I believe you're going to talk to us about some of the cards. So tell us about where this kind of like fits and how the cards work.
Yeah, thanks for that, Dale. So talk about our cards product, which is one of our newer products, but it's really, really exciting. It's been a bit of a game changer for the Aussie market. So we allow our customers to create as many virtual and physical cards as they like. We'll create an expense card first, and I'll talk you through the benefits of doing so in a second. But just like how easy it was to set up a bank account like before, let's quickly set up a card. So this card's going to be for marketing expenses. I'll call it our marketing card. I won't set any limits right now, but we'll talk through that in a second, and I'll click create a card. And just like the bank accounts, within seconds, you'll see that you now have a new debit card that you can now use. Here's the card number, expiry date, and security code. And we will, I'll talk you through the benefits of that right this very second. So where our cards products really stand out is for managing US tech spend or any international spend that you have and you pay for on cards. Like what we were talking about before, if you're using a bank card a standard bank card to pay for those transactions, the chances are that you're paying really, really large fees on those transactions. So things like Facebook, AWS, Google, I think Dale mentioned before, Pipedrive, and all these other US SaaS platforms that you're using for your business. The chances are that the banks are charging a 3% fee on any transactions that you make on those cards. So you take $10,000 of advertising on Facebook a month, that's $300 a month of fees that you can save using our cards. And you just simply put the transaction through on the card number that you saw, and that will pay off those transactions with no international fee. So there's a huge saving there. The next benefit of these cards is being able to create as many cards as you like. So what you can do is actually split out your expenses. So you can see here, I've got a marketing card, a Facebook ads card, a Shopify card, and that way you've got really strong control over your expenses. You can create limits on all the different cards. So if you come back to here and go to the spending limits, I can say I want a transaction limit on this card of $5,000 and the daily limit to be $500. Or I can make a weekly limit or a monthly limit. And that way, you've got complete control over your cards. And if any of your staff have access to these cards, that they can't spend more than what you've budgeted.
So this is like the modern version of kind of petty cash, and rather than having one company card, you give every single employee, and then they have to have it on them physically. And so this is whereby you can create as many cards as you want. You may create one per department if you wish, and you can set different spending limits. And if they also say they're going to be traveling for a week and they need to have a certain budget per day, then you can set up another card, or they could use their same card, and you can just increase the limit and then decrease it immediately after. So this will help you to manage all of your staff expenses in a much more convenient way. Anything else you want to add to this, Philip?
Exactly right. So there's the employee cards that you just mentioned. I think just to talk anecdotally how that works for us at Airwallex, everyone gets $50 a month for team building is loaded onto their card. And then as Dale mentioned, I was in Sydney a couple of weeks ago pre-lockdown, and I got a couple of $1,000s loaded onto my card to pay for flights and accommodation and entertainment and all of those kind of things. The second I returned back to Melbourne, my card limits went back to normal. So really strong way to control your employees' expenditure. You can also have physical cards. The first 5 cards that you order for physical cards are free. From there, there's only a $15 one-off payment to cover costs of sending those cards out to your employees, but you can also have physical cards to pay for your everyday expenses, or when travel opens up and you're going overseas again and you want to use these cards, you'll be able to use your physical cards.
Fantastic. Anything else you want to show us?
Last thing, Dale, is the Xero integration. So you can quickly connect this with Xero. That means all your expenses, all your transfers, all the activity that you're doing through Airwallex will then update in Xero, and that will update hourly. And depending on the Xero account that you have, will come in through in either AUD or in the currency that you've been using. But it makes your life really easy from a bookkeeping point of view, that this plugs in straight through to Xero.
Fantastic. So, all right. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go through some frequently asked questions. And again, if you haven't already, go to this particular link right now. Tell us about the special deal if they use this link. Is it the, you mentioned $20,000 worth of FX fee free? Just want to quickly explain that?
Exactly right. So that means the first $20,000 of FX that you do on the platform, we won't charge you any fees on. That's a really significant saving for you and your business. I think the important thing to add to that as well, we also will know that you are a business blueprint customer and client, and we will treat you with priority and make sure that your onboarding experience is as smooth as possible.
Beautiful. So that link is bburl.co/Airwallex. Let's go into some FAQs really, really quick. Can I use Airwallex if I'm based in New Zealand, if I'm based in Singapore or USA, outside of Australia? Can I still use this service?
You definitely can. The only thing I'd say is that some of the features might be slightly different, or some of the pricing might be slightly different. There won't be any major changes, but you can still definitely use the platform and utilize a lot of the benefits of saving time and saving money.
Beautiful. Next one is integrating with Xero and other accounting software. I see that QuickBooks is coming soon as well. But yes, I'm guessing this one's a yes. Anything else you want to say about this one?
No, exactly right. Xero integration makes you really your life much easier from a bookkeeping point of view, and it updates hourly in your Xero feed, so that really smooth integration there.
Okay, does Airwallex have an Australian financial services license, and is the money in Airwallex safe?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have an ASFL license. The money in Airwallex is safe. All your money sits within an ANZ segregated. So that way you have complete assurance on your capital, and your money is safe within Airwallex.
Okay, so you said it's backed up by ANZ, where the accounts are?
Exactly right. So if you're an Australian located business, then it'll be all your funds will be backed up by ANZ. If you're located somewhere else in the world, we have local banking partners in all different regions.
Beautiful. Okay, it seems almost too good to be true. How does Airwallex make any money?
Yeah, it does. We get that a little bit. So it's free to use the platform, as we mentioned in the outset. Where we make our money is on those international transactions. So we spoke to you about those 0.3 and 0.6% fees. That's where we make our money. We also will make money on card spend, but that money that we would make is from the merchant and not from yourselves actually making that card transaction. So the only time you're, I guess, essentially paying us any money is on FX transfers.
And I'm guessing you make your money on the volume, right? Because the 0.3 is not very big, but if you're doing millions of dollars, then it can add up. So that makes a lot of sense. What are the advantages around using an Airwallex card over a traditional bank card?
So as you would have seen, there's a lot tighter control over your expenses. You can create multiple cards, which allows you to have a much better control of where you're spending your money. The second biggest saving is with your international transactions, particularly US tech spend. So spend AWS, Pipedrive, MailChimp, all these US tech companies that you're spending money with, banks are likely charging you large fees to make those transactions. Using our cards, you don't have those transactions, and it saves you a lot of money there.
Beautiful. And how long does it take to get an account set up?
Cool. So it will depend on the complexity of your business, but typically we try to aim for 1 to 2 days. Occasionally it can take up to a week, depending on the complexity of your business. The reason for that is obviously we're allowing, once you set up your account, you can then open up bank accounts all around the world. You can open up cards that you can use all around the world. So we need to make sure that we're really stringent with our onboarding process to ensure that we're adhering to all the licensing requirements in all the different markets. So there's a little bit of work to get your account set up at the start, but then once you've got it set up, there's no more paperwork, and you can open up all these different types of products with a click of the button and save you a lot of time and money. So it's worth that initial investment to get the fruits of your labor at the end.
Beautiful. And one of the things that I've been super impressed with is the support that once you, fill out your details, a real person will contact you and kind of guide you through the process of getting your account set up. And it depending on whether you're set up as a company or as a trust or a sole trader, there's different kind of documents you need to supply, but they will guide you through what the requirements are to get you up and running as soon as possible. So Philip, anything more you want to say or add before we wrap up?
Yeah, Dale, I think you touched on a really important point at the end. We are, have a huge presence here in Australia, and we pride ourselves on our customer service. So you will be speaking to someone in Australia. You'll have their phone number, their mobile number, their email address, and you can contact them directly. So we will really handhold you through the process to make sure you're using the platform in the best way possible. And again, to save yourself time and save yourself money. So I think if you can do those two things, then you're really setting up your business for success and allowing your business to scale and grow into the future, which is really obviously what everyone's trying to do.
Fantastic. So this has been an overview of Airwallex, what it is, why it's awesome, how it can help you to save you thousands or potentially tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in fees. And that money can then go straight back into growing your business. So I want to say well done for being here and watching this video. Now I'd really encourage you to make sure that you take the next step, even if you just get started with one of the products, like for example, just paying staff overseas. That's all we wanted to do at the beginning, was just be able able to pay our contractors. Just start there. And then now we're really excited around the other products as well. Like we're getting into the cards and we're getting into now setting up bank accounts in other countries to make it easier for international clients to pay us. So just start small and then you can add the other features as you need. All right, time for us to wrap. Well done for being here. And I wish you all the best on your journey to business success. Bye for now.